This is it! This is it! Your career's on the line here! Do it! Do it! This place will erupt when he picks him up. He's got him up! Oh, hell yeah! 1, 2, 3! Thank you, thank you! We've got a new heavyweight champion! Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see? He got him a power slam! He got him a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is a champion!
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get to see your knee. Knee. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport. The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Bam! Listen, Barrett's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips are the biggest size in the WWE. Somebody stop this! Somebody stop the damn man! Enough's enough!
What?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Dude, got it real! Woo!
WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So to escape from reality?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Oh, it's live, Hal.
Let the slaughter begin!
It is now time for
With reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Number 1, to be the man, baby! You have to beat the man! Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun.
Have you ever heard a chop like that in your life?
You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
Oh yeah, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. I do see all my co-hosts are already in the building. I thought I was going to have to ride out for a little bit. We are here to discuss the Backlash card from last Saturday, which was only a 5-match card. So guess what? we'll have you out of here in plenty time to catch AEW tonight. But, before we go further in the show, let me welcome my co-host, the political prophet amongst men, and I'm going to just start calling him the shit starter. MD, what's going on?
Peace. What's going on? What's that?
Nothing, man. And last but definitely not least, producer extraordinaire, Venkat in the building. What's going on, Venkat?
What's going on, Trevor? What's going on, MD?
Not a damn thing. And shout out to those of you watching over on Twitter right now. I've seen that you guys have been watching our Tape Fist Politics show and the wrestling show, so I appreciate that. Speaking of Tape Fist Politics, if you ever wanted to see what a pseudo war was like last night, you go and check out last night's episode of Tape Fist Politics, which should have been one of the easiest episodes in the world, but it turned into a big, cluster. But it's all good. That's what we do over here on the Straight Talk Society. So, man, and that was just part one of it. So we got. I'm assuming it's only going to get progressively worse.
I guess it will. My goodness.
Well, since they claim that this is a Manosphere channel, I guess we ain't gonna care too much about the other stories. Is when we feel men are being attacked. That's the only way we start acting crazy. But it is what it is.
Damn with the women and children, I guess.
Yeah. Hey. Oh man, but hey, that episode last night was fun. When I saw the title, I'm like, huh? Because normally when I see the thumbnails and stuff, I get exactly what it's gonna be about. But when I saw that one, I'm like, huh. That's why I even had to send Venkat a message like, hey, what the hell is this gonna be about? Like, because it wasn't ringing a bell, but yeah, it did just show the worst side of human beings. I mean, and there's a fact that we can't deny, we can't run from it. I mean, it does happen. It is what it is. So, just know me and MD, we're gonna get in the ring soon. So I mean, it's inevitable. It has to happen.
That's fine.
In in the words of Kevin Steen, he said him and Sami Zayn are destined to fight forever. And I mean, we got a few issues we're gonna have to tackle. So, we just have to see when it's gonna happen. And by the way, Wayne said that the debate is still on. He's just, he's real busy right now. So that's where we are with that. So before we get into tonight's show, I do have one story that I want to go over, because I when I heard this yesterday, I thought this was just ridiculous and fascinating at the same time. So I do want to go over this before we get into the Backlash review. And just a note, not next week, we're off next week, but the week after, we will be doing part 2 of This Is Sting, where we go over his post WCW run. And then I decided, it was something I was always thinking about, but with MD sending me something that Kevin Nash said, I just decided, let's go ahead and do it. We want to visit the Black Wrestlers episode again.
By the way,
hello?
Yeah. By the way, when I said what I said on the Black Wrestling show on that other channel, Sun Black channel, when I said what I said about just showcasing how problematic it is for Black wrestlers to be depicted that way, a couple of my colleagues brushed it off like it was no big deal. So here comes a white guy that comes in here and pretty much says what I'm saying, and now it's taken seriously. So it's okay.
I gotta go back. I gotta go look back and listen to what I said, bro. We're at episode 49, and we did 20 over there, so we've done 70 of these almost. Yeah, and those are what's just numbered, because some of them were just never numbered, so I forget. But I don't ever remember not saying I had a problem with R-Truth, like the way his depiction, not him as personally, but
R-Truth is a problematic for sure.
Yeah, I just never was a fan of his depiction. I get it. He's very comical. His timing is impeccable, but it to me, with how serious everybody's being presented now, but we'll get to that in a few weeks. We are going to take a look at the black wrestlers throughout the years in the wrestling business after the Sting show, because again, doing the weekly shows is not really what we do. We like to go more so into the, I guess you'd say, the politics of wrestling. And I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring episode today on the Black Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just
I saw that.
yeah.
Before we
want.
came up, yeah, I was watching it.
Yeah, we gonna have to touch on that. I was watching that today. We're gonna have to touch on that one because
You saw Ric Flair?
Nah, I was listening to it. I didn't see it.
Not from the Black Sunday, but Ric Flair in general. He's had another episode.
No, that's the story that I'm talking about. That I got
okay.
go into before the Backlash.
Okay.
But yeah, that Black Saturday thing was fantastic because for years I always, it was just Vince going in there strong arming, but they said it was the Briscoes that sold him, the majority vote. So I mean,
well, yeah, I knew that part, but I just thought it was something that underhanded that Vince did. I didn't know that it was basically a consensus in Georgia Championship Wrestling that they wanted to get away from Ole.
Exactly.
Because he was strong arming, you know what I'm saying? Which I can 100% see.
And for years, the story has always been that Vince just went in there and did Vince. But when you hear this, you're like, well, wait a minute. They were all for this, and not for nothing. Who's the promoter? The gay promoter? Oh my God, who's the promoter guy that Ole fired and he went and did the underhanded deal and then ended up working for Vince? What the hell is that guy's name? But anyway, we'll touch on it because I definitely want to discuss that. So we gotta let's get into this first story. Let's get into this first story before we get into the Backlash. Because again, Backlash was 5 matches. So we should run through that real quick. But I do want to get to this because when I heard about this yesterday, I thought this was fascinating. So I'm assuming Venkat wants to talk about him getting into the altercation at the bar.
Right.
All right. Well, go ahead and touch on that one first because I got some audio for this one.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing that's problematic for me, if this was a one-off, it would be one thing. But a few years ago, this happened before. Like, damn near the same thing, just different people, different environment. And this latest one is in Florida, of course. It's always something that happening in Florida. But Ric Flair, after the near-death issue he had, could have died just a few short years ago. And now, he's going back to that whole getting drunk and his whole drinking is all about social, being around people. He has to be the center of attention. He needs to perform and be appraised by people. Like that's his whole shtick. And it leads to drinking and stuff like that. And the guys are telling him at the bar, hey, look, you got to tap out. You have too many drinks at this point, and we can't serve you anymore. And he begins to berate people, call them names, make threats, throw his weight around, hey, I'm Ric Flair, blah, blah, blah. And it's just troubling because, hey, Ric Flair's a trash bag human. Don't get it twisted. I mean, the original trash bag human. And this just shows it. And you're almost 80, and you still doing this. Even after that, Ric Flair should have died 19 times already. There's 19 different occasions where he should have already died. So you think that, okay, he's changing things, he's doing things different. He has a little, cannabis company, and he's doing like business on his own, but he's just not, I guess, willing to change. And Hulk Hogan talked about him in an interview a few months ago. Really put him out there. Like, that was kind of weird. Like, he pretty much saying that Ric Flair's just a drunk and always doing things like this and uncontrollable, like he drinks too much. And here he is as a senior citizen drinking too much.
And coming from Hulk Hogan, like that's crazy to hear you quote Hulk Hogan. So I do have the video though. So let me play this video so we can see what's going on here.
Yeah, good. Well, I didn't do it wrong. Except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That is bad for you. Why would it be bad for me? Well, watch social media tomorrow. I don't follow social media. Well, you better. I don't get stuck on my phone. What's your name, job? Nicholas what? Nicholas Dickhead. You don't have to call me like that, sir. Don't ever talk. You don't have to call me like that, sir. You don't have to do this to me. Because you really made me my family. I'm not familiar. I didn't do one thing wrong. I walked into the bathroom. And you cuss on my kitchen manager. Oh, you're a kid high class. Really? What world do you live in? The same world you live in. How did I cost him? Did I touch him? Cousin, you said cuss word. I never said a cuss word. You know, is that his word against yours? I didn't say one cuss word. God. No, ma'am, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip just to say to him, kiss my ass. If you walk outside here, you don't have to be disrespectful to me. I know. You're disrespecting me. How am I disrespecting? Telling me to leave. I'm not telling you to leave. We're just telling you that you're cut off. Oh, I'm cut off and I'm not? Really? Yes, sir. It don't matter if you're famous or not. Ma'am, please give yourself $1,000 tip. $1,000 tip. This guy and I are so cool. She and I are cool. And along comes the dipshit. You don't have to call me like that. I said it. I never did. I'll say it again. You're a dipshit. Oh, I believe me. Trust me. I won't come back again. Come outside here and talk to me like a man. I'm not going to do that because I'm on the clock. You push you're on the pussy clock. No, I'm going to do what? I'm going to do what? Hey, you want to go out and talk to me in the park? I don't work here. I don't get the shit. We'll talk to me. What's that? You heard me. What's that? What did you say to me? What did you say to me? Oh, I brought my whole family here.
I need one of those little bar straws to get straight. You know how many? Just one. Baby.
All right, so you know that was the video that was low, but so apparently the guy he had one too many. Typical for him. The guy cuts him off, and now he's going into belligerent mode. What bothers me is the entitlement. Now he's like, "Oh, get yourself $1,000 tip," or "You know who I am? I'm Ric Flair," and you see this so much with these people, man. Like they just so entitled. Oh, if I don't come here anymore, then this place is over. Like, get out of here with that. You even though you're there, then drawing power is probably not as much as what you thought it was nowadays. But yeah, what do you got? And again, the video was low, but you know, you could pretty much make out what was happening. He's calling the guy a dipshit. Guy's just trying to do his job. Typical. We demean the working class, especially in the food service industry. It is what it is. They always getting demeaned. And then you try to fix everything by telling them, hey, give yourself $1,000 tip, which I bet you probably didn't have. But nevertheless, what you guys got on that?
Go ahead, MD.
Yeah, I just found out about this story today. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't see the video. I know that the article that I saw was saying that a video was circulating. This is one of the things that I've noticed about Flair. Flair, he loves the self-validation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is. You know, you're considered, if not the greatest, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. How much self validation do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's weird to me to see somebody that old relying on validation from other people. And Flair is notorious for doing that. And it's sad, you know what I'm saying? You know, what was that a couple years ago when I don't know if he still lives in Georgia, but I know when he was in Georgia, when he had, what was that, liver failure that he was going through at a particular time, or some type of liver condition.
Yep.
And here you are sitting in Florida drinking like a fish. Like, you know, hey man, I'm always the person that say, hey, do what you want. But I mean, hey man, at some point in time, you know, you gotta say, you know, like, you know, what is my life worth? That may be an underlying issue. You know what I'm saying? What is Ric Flair's life worth to Ric Flair at the end of the day?
And then you see the person who he was with, the lady, I didn't see her face, but he was like, and she's with me, telling him to, like, come on, man, let's calm down. And he's like, you agreeing with him. And then the fact to be 75 years old and you telling this young guy to come outside. But again, they know who to do that stuff to, because they know that guy's not going to go outside and do anything with Flair. But just the absurdity. To think that a 75-year-old man, me and Bank had gotten an argument about Sting being in his 60s, but just the absurdity of a 75-year-old decrepit man, Joe Biden, challenging you to a fight outside. Come on, man. Like, think about how ridiculous that sounds.
He's clearly not based in reality where he's thinking. And the other issue here, too, is that by law, that bar can't serve him over a certain limit. So they're just doing their job. They're trying to abide by the law. They could get fined or in trouble for going over the limit of what he's obviously exceeding. But you know, you can't rationalize with a person like that. You know, there's no rational thought coming out of it. But Flair, I thought that this was tapered down a little, and I thought he was heading in the right place, but he's clearly the same idiot. He's clearly the same guy.
He had said that he stopped drinking after the whole liver situation.
Yeah, I thought he stopped drinking.
Well, the worst I heard him say was occasionally he'll do a little bit because it's tough to just, you know, totally be out of it. But this doesn't sound like you're doing a little, you know, whatever. This sounds like you're right back in 1985, you know, on the road with the horsemen. That's what this sounds like, without the horsemen around him.
I just realized in this picture, that's Scarlett back there. And Karrion Kross. So, yeah, Ric Flair. So we got another Ric Flair story. I saw this yesterday. And by the way, sometimes you forget how good people could wrestle because their the character they played doesn't really call for that. I'm watching the match with Chelsea Green and Roxanne Perez. Man, I didn't know Chelsea Green could actually wrestle. I just thought she was a look and the gimmick, but she actually could wrestle. But I digress. So here's another story that I heard from Ric Flair about Ric Flair. I was listening to John Pollock and Wei Ting post wrestling, and they told this absurd Ric Flair story. So I went and looked it up, and I got the sound for it. So I want y'all to listen to what Ric Flair tells these people. He's doing an interview with Rampage Jackson, and listen to what he said.
Training, it was supposed to be your last match. Did you train at all for that thing?
Oh, God, I trained. It was 2023.
It was 2023?
Yeah, 22. Yeah, I trained. I got in the best shape I've since I was 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I had a heart attack during the match.
Wait, what?
I had a heart attack during the match.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
that.
A lot of people didn't. I didn't know it myself until about 6 months ago, because I went and got I go to the heart doctor like every 6 months because I've got the pacemaker, right? Mm. And they put that on me when I was real sick, not because I had a problem with my heart, but because they couldn't get over the fact that my
heart rate was so low, but it was from all those hour-long matches and all the cardio. I used to do 500 free squats every day, 500 free squats, 500 push-ups every day. Because not every town you went to, these little towns, all of them had a gym, right? Or I would do the deck of cards, or I would do step-ups on a chair, you know. So my heart rate was like always like 48. It drove people nuts that it was so slow. So they put that on me, and then I went to get what's called a calcium scan, which I'd never had before, because a couple of guys died in our business of heart issues. So it kind of scared me. So I went and I blew a number on that, and the guy, you know, they give you the nuclear stress test, shoot you with the dye, put you on the windmill, on treadmill. I mean, everything, right? So it's 2 days of 3 hours of testing. And this is the 6 months ago. The guy takes me in, and if you look at your pie, like if you look at your heart like a round pie, right? There's a piece of my heart right here, this big, it's black, it's gone. The guy said you've had a heart attack in the last 2 years. I said I've never hurt me. He said, have you passed out in the last 2 years? And during my last match, I passed out 3 times. Yeah, and I thought it was because I was dehydrated. So I went in the locker room. I was with Kid Rock and the Taker. I just drank 2 bottles of Gatorade and went back out to Kid Rock's place all night long. But I had a heart attack.
And you didn't even go to the hospital. You had no idea.
I didn't hurt. No, none. I feel great. That's my problem. I'm sure I'm just going to fall off the chair one day. They're going to say, there he is.
All right. That was a clip from Rampage Jackson's podcast. I didn't even know Rampage Jackson had a podcast. Shout out to Rampage Jackson. That's absurd, man. Like, think about what he just said. So in this match, and I'm almost thinking we need to do a watch along to this match because I've never seen it all. I just saw pieces of it. So in this match, they faked. This is Ric Flair's last match, by the way, where him and Andrade teamed up against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. So in this match, they basically faked the heart attack, only to find out that he really did have one. But just think of the absurdity here, because this guy, when I first heard about this, like this Ric Flair's last match, I literally said he wants to die in the ring. Like that is what he's actively trying to do. He loves wrestling so much that the way for him to go out is on his shield, and he would be okay with, like, he comes off to me like if he died in his sleep, it would just be the worst thing in the world. Like if he died taking a flat back bump, like life is done, like it's 100% fulfilled. Like that's how he comes off, man. And it's sad. This is why we got into the whole Sting contention. Not that I don't like Sting, but Sting isn't. Yeah, Venkat will tell you all the time, Sting is in 100% better shape than him, but Sting is just 10 years younger than him at 64, 11 years, 64, which again, 64-year-old guys aren't supposed to be doing this. But now here you have a 75-year-old, I guess it was 2 years ago, so he was 73 at the time, in worse shape, had all these health issues, and passed out 3 times in the match. And for what? Like MD said it earlier, you're literally known as the greatest wrestler of all time. I know Venkat don't agree with that, but we can get into that. And like, why is he actively, like, he legit is actively trying to just off himself? That's how this comes off. Like, he literally wants to die in the ring. I bet you if Tony Khan would allow him to have another match, he absolutely would do it. And for what? Like, I mean, this is diminishing returns here, man. What did y'all hear that clip prior to me playing it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. It goes back. And here's another thing. This is what I say about Conrad, right?
Yeah, oh, please get on Conrad. Please.
I think Flair seeks so much validation from other people that he's allowing himself to be ripped off by people around him. Conrad, in my opinion now, like, this is my opinion, Conrad is ripping Ric Flair off. Even down to the big gold belt. Ripped him off. he has to stop and at some point in time just sit down and bask in the glory that is Ric Flair. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But he's afraid for that glow to be diminished by him not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's ultimately gonna kill him, even to the point of just being social. You know, I mean, hell, at this point, you can pretty much predict, and you know, this is sad to say, but you know, I'm gonna say it. You can pretty much predict how Ric Flair is gonna pass away at this point. You know, because I mean, I'm assuming that he's never gonna wrestle again. But the fact that
he works for Tony Khan, remember that.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, the fact that he's still going out to these places and doing these events, and you know, having to feel as though he needs to be social in order to be relevant, and by way of doing that, using the vehicle of alcohol to do it, that's troubling. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point where you know you don't supposed to be doing it, or you might get cirrhosis of the liver. But hey, you know, I'm Ric Flair. I got to stay relevant. You know what I'm saying? That's sad. You know, with all the star power that he got, that you feel as though you still need to do that in order for people to still basically love you. Says more about you than anything else.
And it also, what's messed up too is the recent resurgence of Ric Flair's popularity really among black athletes and black people. So like so many people embrace Ric Flair. A lot of black people embrace Ric Flair. He got the friggin' song from the Migos. He's all up in the video. They're wearing the robes. I mean, Ric Flair is like celebrated by so many different people from so many different walks of life. And it just really boomed like after WCW. I mean, he was already like that before, but it really boomed after WCW was gone. And it just kept going and going and going. And since the Shawn Michaels match, it just kept going and going and going. And since Jay Lethal, the woo off, it just keeps going, you know? So whenever he gets attention like that, he just wants more and more and more. There is no, okay, you know, like Sting, you know, listen to how when Sting did his last match, he's like, Tony Khan wants to get me to go to Wembley. He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm done. He's like, he wants to go home, be able to relax, chill out, and just live his last days normally instead of being on the road, taking bumps and doing that hustle and bustle. Flair lives for that. That wouldn't be bad on a 30-something, 40-something year old, but you're halfway to 80 and you're not a good 80. Like
right.
That black Ghostbuster.
Oh my God. Did you see Ernie Hudson? Oh my goodness.
He's 2 years away from being 80 years old. And that guy looked better than 15 to 20-year-olds.
Than me.
So he's not that kind of black don't crack. He's not that kind of 80-year-old. That he's one of those like gonna die any minute type guys. So I don't know what the hell.
Venkat, had you heard this clip before I played it?
No, I never heard it. Never heard it.
So, okay, because I'm glad MD brought up Conrad. I was a big fan of Conrad. I was when he first came out with the Something to Wrestle in the 83 weeks and the Tony Schiavone and all that. I don't listen to Conrad anymore just because I just don't. I see what it is now.
You could tell what he is by his name. Hell, it says what he is in the first 3 letters of his name. Damn Con.
Oh, you crazy. But how much of this do you put on him though? Like he had to have gas Ric Flair up. Just think about this. what if anything would have happened to Ric Flair in that ring? I mean, well, shit, he had a heart attack. So the next step to that is him not being here anymore. But what if something would have happened to him? Just think about the absurdity of trying to obtain a wrestling license and say, hey, yeah, in my main event, I'm going to have a 73-year-old man wrestling his final match in the main event. Just think about the absurdity of wrestling. And Venkat brings up Ernie, I think that's his name, Ernie Hudson. But the guy looks phenomenal, man. I saw the picture of him and I thought that they put his face on the younger man's body. I'm like, that's crazy to be 70 and look like that. That's just ridiculous. But it's crazy, man. Like, Conrad, this is his father-in-law. Like, at what point do you just be like, hey, you know what, Dad, you got to chill out, man. Just stop. Who's his handler at this point? Like, I mean, it's crazy. We talking about the greatest wrestler of all time. Like, who is his handler? Who is his sounding board to be like, hey, you know what? You may not don't do that one. Like,
Well, it
it's
used to be
crazy.
Fifi, didn't it?
Huh?
Ex-wife? It used to be Fifi.
Well, yeah.
It used to be. I don't know if he got back with her or not, though. I mean,
You know what? They did just recently get remarried a couple of years ago. They did.
right. Yeah,
Man,
it's disappointing. It's really disappointing. It's just so many red flags with this guy, man. And that's why I'm done with it. I had to reevaluate like what I've seen from him, and plus Bret Hart's points is just can't get over Bret Hart. So
and you see who looking right behind him is old Bret Hart, Mr. C
imagine him
plus at
in
best
the ring.
himself.
Undertaker was there, Bret Hart was there, Mick Foley was there. You had all these legends there. He would have died in the ring that night. What the hell?
You know what this remind me of? I'm pretty sure y'all watched this movie. This is one of my favorite movies. This is The Wrestler, where he couldn't let the fame go.
Yes.
And so now me and Mike discussed this back and forth. It's implied that he died at the end, correct?
I think they left it open for you. Yeah, I mean, I would take it that way, yes. But they left it open for the interpretation of the viewer.
So he was presented. He finally gets the girl that he's been chasing. She finally comes back and she's like, hey, I'm here. I'm really here for you. And he turns around and he's like, yeah, but you hear that? And it's like he just couldn't give up the spotlight. Like that final time, bad heart. The doctors tell him, hey, you can't do this because you're gonna die. And he's like, you know what? I'd rather die in the ring. Like,
Yeah,
literally, I'd rather die in the ring.
That is Flair. That's Flair. And Flair, I guess it goes right over his head. Like, if anybody should be like, okay, you know what? That's a message. I know he's seen the movie. That movie came out in what, 2007, 2008? I mean, all these wrestlers watch that. They should be able to correlate, like, what the message is there.
Well, the only difference that I would say, the Ram was a shell of himself. You know what I'm saying? He was looking for one last shot in the dark, whereas Ric Flair's on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference that I would take. Similar position, but as psychologically, it's polar opposites of each other. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's going to know the name of Ric Flair after he's gone. Everybody's going to remember everything that he did. He's going to go out on top. And for you to still try to seek some type of validation, that's the issue. And that's something that's deeper than wrestling at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, what do you have to prove? What do you have to achieve? What do you have to get? I mean, you should just be. Sting got it right, man. He just wants to go home. I remember Michael Jordan said, I can't wait for when my career's over. I'm gonna be fat and grow a belly. That's what he said. He was like in his late 30s when he said that. Like, that's what you should be thinking about. Like, just taking, you've done the work to get to this point. And now you sit back and you reap the benefits of all the hard work you did up until that point. And you just, reflect and live out your life differently. But some people don't want to let it go.
Now, to be fair, I will say, when it comes to Sting did go out and preach and do all that stuff for like 4 or 5 years before he came back to wrestle.
Yeah. But
So just to be fair, at
but,
least I give him that. He had time to
you're
relax.
not getting a concussion doing preaching.
But hey, MD, I never heard of Sting having heart attacks though.
Yeah. Plus, he
Nah.
took care of his body way better. Way better.
I mean,
Eats right, trains.
It literally just take, like, for most people, it just take one traumatic incident. Like, you have a heart attack, you're like, okay, that's it. Time to change my life. But this guy is just like, hey, he even said, hey, I'm gonna probably fall off this chair. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's literally, I don't get it, man. And that scene in The Wrestler that really got me the most is when Ram went to that convention and saw all those other old wrestlers in wheelchairs and all that, and nobody was at their gimmick table. It was, man, God, that was so sad, man.
And that's how wrestling really is. As Virgil, he died off. He pretty much died off that same way.
Virgil was in the subway. There's pictures of him, in the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just wanted to do that before we get into the Backlash review. So now let's pivot and let's get into this Backlash review. Shout out to the the 7 of you over there watching on Twitter. Wish you could comment over here. I don't know how that works, but anyway, shout out to you. So let's get into the Backlash review so we can get out of here. Backlash took place, what was it? This past Saturday, right? Yeah, this past Saturday from Lyon, France. First of all, let's just talk about the star of the show, which was that crowd. Last year's Backlash, and me and Venkat were talking, Backlash might have to be like a big, they got Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, and Money in the Bank is their big five. They may have to start adding Backlash because the past two Backlash to me have been more must see, especially the night one of WrestleMania. Like, I mean, what did you think about this crowd before we get into anything else?
You're right, man. It was the start of the show. I wouldn't mind if they kept Backlash like the international event for the year. You know what I'm saying? That crowd to me was better than the crowd last year based on their knowledge of wrestling. They knew everything. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the intro songs.
Oh, jeez.
They knew everything. So to me, as far as like a smart group, they were way better than the Puerto Rican crowd.
And that Puerto Rican crowd was awesome because I watched that Backlash again before this one came on just to see, was that crowd really that awesome? And they were. But they were awesome in spots and moments, whereas this crowd just never stopped. Like I mentioned the Venkat. I'm like, there's no way they could keep this pace up. No way. And they got louder at the end to where the hard camera started shaking. I'm like, this is insane. But I agree with you. Backlash should now be the new international event. But they are doing I think they got like 4 international events coming up. You got the Saudi show, you got Bash at Berlin, and then the castle, the Clash of the Castle, and then what's the Berlin one called? Bash in Berlin or something like that.
Yeah.
So they got 4 international. They got 4 international events coming up. So, and those crowds are going to try to outdo one another. But this crowd was special, man. Venkat, what else you had on the crowd?
Spectacular. That's probably the best crowd ever. That was a video game level crowd. Like, you would play Saturday Night Slam Masters on Capcom, and the crowd moving back. Like, it feels like a video game level. Like, it was sustained. They didn't drop off. There was no boring moments. They were with the show. They were a part of the show. Like, That was a. I'm telling you, I wasn't playing when I said I wish Cactus Jack and Vader was in front of that crowd. I would like to see a lot of classic matches be in front of that type of crowd because the match would be so good, but then it would be elevated with that environment. That was a great environment to have. I was on fire.
You
I hadn't
know what I
quite
love?
seen anything like that.
You know what I loved about that crowd though? As loud as they were, they didn't try to take over the show.
Right. You're right. You get a lot of that too, where they just start saying stupid stuff and oh my god, yeah, a wrestling crowd can be very obnoxious.
Very. Oh God, very. And there was no what chance, thank God. Well, nobody was cutting promos, but yeah, that crowd was insane. I think the loudest I think the loudest crowd I've ever seen, like Rock Hogan, was insane, but that was for that match. Like I could think about Bad Bunny's entrance last year, but that was for that match. I remember, I think one of the loudest Monday Night Raws I ever seen, well, Dolph Ziggler when he cashed in on Del Rio, that was tremendous, coming off that terrible WrestleMania. And then you had when Ryback came out to save Vince McMahon from CM Punk. That's the first time I saw the camera shake. They were in Sacramento. That was insane. The pop for Ryback. So yeah, they got to do more international shows, and you know, Triple H already said, y'all make us an offer. I mean, because now they're bidding on WrestleMania, and they do. From what I heard, where they were having the show in that arena, there's a stadium right across the street from it, so they can go right back there and put 3 times the amount of people in there, and those soccer.
You're gonna lose what happened, and that's my complaint with WrestleMania. That's why I didn't want Cody to win there, because it's not gonna be the same environment and atmosphere. There's no comparison from an arena to a stadium, and it shows. It shows. I didn't want to believe it, but it shows.
Real quick, Trevor, to your point with the WrestleMania show, I should have known something was up. You know, I'm going to Savannah the end of this month, and I was planning on going to NXT Battleground. They changed Battleground from Savannah to Las Vegas. I should have known something was up. Then I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, what happened? So they going to promote WrestleMania is what they're doing.
That's the one that they're doing at the Apex.
Right.
And Zay is pissed off. Hey, Zay is such an MMA elitist, and he hates the fact that they're going there. Like, he just hate it. He like, man, I don't want them to have no part of it. I don't know what his deal is, but he is such a MMA elitist. Like, he don't want them to put no stink on their in their arena. So that's kind of crazy. But so let's get into the opening match. So the opening match was and I'm gonna tell you, I like what they did in this, because this match the whole time was being built as just a regular tag match. No stipulation. But I thought it was weird though, just based on the buildup. Like, why would this just be a regular tag? But they did it, they built it that way for a reason, because they built to a climax. So yeah, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga and how was this guy? Solo Sikoa. And so they come out and they're standing in front of each other. First of all, the crowd again singing the complete lyrics to Randy Orton's song, and singing it well in unison. I mean, and I can't say they practice, because most of them probably don't know each other. That was just a great moment. And it was funny to look at the looks on the wrestlers' faces. They were like legit overwhelmed and taken aback. They're like, damn, this is insane, man. So they come into the ring and they're looking at each other. And then Kevin Owens just goes off. They're fighting. Remember, this is a regular tag match. Nothing has been announced. They clear out the back. And then Nick Aldis comes out and he makes it a street fight. When he said street fight, that place went from here to here. Like, they just completely erupted just for the announcement of the street fight. Venkat, what did you think about this match?
Oh, the match started off hype before anything, like you said. Then when it turned into a street fight, it just kept going. It was a good match. I was a bit shaky, like in the middle area. I was kind of concerned, but I think ultimately they got to a place where I thought that they were doing the good guys, the baby faces a little too much, and like at some point the heels got to get some kind of offense to make it competitive. But they eventually got there, and I think the right people won. I think that Solo and Tonga should win that match, and it was good. I liked ultimately how it ended. Yeah, I ain't got nothing bad to say about this. This was good, and this is your opening match, and the people were at a fever pitch from the moment the first note of Kevin Owens' songs started. They were like, because they were already rabid and ready to go.
Yeah.
But so when they heard that first note, that was it. It erupted even more, and they never came down. They stayed there, so that was good.
So Venkat did say, because he sent a message and he's like, damn, like the bloodline is getting their ass kicked. And they were like, and we're gonna get into it later. I see WWE's match style changing here. I'm gonna bring up a couple of examples later. Normally WWE's style is for the heels to get heat all the time, especially in a bloodline match. And I told him, I said, oh, don't worry, the bloodline gonna slow it down. They're gonna slow it down to a screeching halt, but they never did. Like it literally just kept getting frenetic. I love when Kevin Owens did his splash off of the barricade, and then Randy Orton got up there and the crowd started going crazy. And he was like, nah, I ain't doing that. And then he just jumped down. But this picture up here, friggin' Kevin Owens hit a fisherman buster from the second row on the 4 chairs. Tama Tonga got his ass kicked in this match. Like I felt like this match was saying welcome to the WWE. Like, I mean, Randy Orton was slapping him square in the head with those trash cans. They beat the hell out of him. MD, what you had on this one?
Yeah, great opening match for the type of crowd that we were to expect for the rest of the show. Shout out to Triple H, man. My God, man. WWE, what we're seeing out of them now is phenomenal. The fact that Corey Graves and Michael Cole were sitting there going through the accolades of Tama Tonga in New Japan. That beautiful. Beautiful. 4-time never open weight champion, 7-time IGPW tag team. I was like, what the hell? Like, this is insane. Wow, am I watching WWE?
That's the way.
Shout out to Triple H, man. Shout out to Triple H for doing that.
Because Vince would never allow that.
Right. It was a great opening match, and it gave the hype for the crowd for the rest of the show. Would I say that it was a lull at some point in the match? I mean, not really. You had a certain point in the match where they isolated Randy Orton in the ring for a little bit, but that didn't last long. You know what I mean? Yeah, this was a perfect match for what it was in terms of opening the show up. That fisherman buster, man, yeah. But Tama Tonga is known for like taking stuff like that. So, it wasn't as if I was saying like it was a welcome to WWE type moment, because like that's what Tama Tonga do. If you ever seen him in New Japan.
Okay, see, I don't know them in New Japan.
I think that should happen to him, especially after Kevin Owens getting busted open and dragged through the arena. He should get that, and his back was cut and lacerations was on his back.
So, but to your point, Trevor, he did take he took a lot of the bumps. Like he took the frog splash through the table and all type of stuff. I was like, damn, they working Tama Tonga.
Yeah, they kicked his ass.
Yeah. But at the end, like I said, a lot of people were expecting Jacob Fatu, but to bring Tongaloa in, having the GOD in WWE, like man, this is crazy. Now to Venkat's point, and then I'll finish up. I'm still kind of flustered as to why this didn't happen at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because now when Roman Reigns comes back, now you got to set the precedent in terms of the storyline. And you're going to be forced to either take time out of what you want to do to implement Roman Reigns or force feed it. And I don't want it to be force fed. You know what I'm saying? So why not have God come in during WrestleMania and for Solo to basically set himself up to be the next guy in the bloodline, the next head of the table? Because you ain't gonna see Roman Reigns for a while. We see that. So let it simmer, let it cook for a while. Then Roman Reigns comes back and we can do the Civil War properly. Now I just don't want to see it be force fed, and I'm afraid that that's gonna happen.
So go ahead, Van K, because I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
I mean, MD said it. I mean, there was big disappointment there not utilizing on a match that's called Bloodline Rules and following this bloodline story. All these people. You're talking about The Rock showing that graph of all this great, glorious big tree of all this lineage. And you got The Rock there, which is huge in itself. And then he says, I'm going to be there. And it's bloodline rules and anything can happen. And you have these guys ready to go. And how do you not do that? And when you watch WrestleMania, like I know when I was sitting there and I'm seeing Cena run down there, yeah, I get it, right? Cena had wars with the bloodline in the last couple years and blah, blah, blah. But those things don't matter, especially when this is a John Cena that's been getting pinned every time he's in a major match. Last time he got pinned was with Solo. So it doesn't really hold the weight. And for Undertaker and for Cena to be there, I would have much rather seen these guys there. I thought that would have made a hell of a lot more sense. I really would have loved to see Dustin Rhodes there. But, whatever, you can't get them there. But you had these guys, so there's no excuse to not do that. And I think that would have made the match even more in jeopardy of you feeling like, oh, crap, he might not win because they got these guys here. But when you start seeing Undertaker and Cena and whatnot, at that point you're like, oh God, they're gonna go ahead and let Cody win it right now. So it would have been a better situation. I mean, I would have foregone this whole thing and made Roman win and then push this damn thing down where it needed to be.
See, I ain't go that far, Trevor. I ain't go that far.
I knew it was coming. He can't let it go. I knew it was coming.
You cannot tell me that went down ideally. Like, it just feels off. And I was afraid that would happen. That was not the environment for that to go down. But whatever.
All right, WrestleMania not the environment for the biggest title change. All right. So they duped everybody. They duped everybody in this match because, I mean, everybody thought Jacob Fatu. There's not a person on earth that thought that it was going to be Tonga Loa because we didn't even know if he was signed. His contract was just up. So they swerved the hell out of us. And here's what I'm saying is going to happen. You have a Survivor Series pay-per-view coming up in the, down the road. It ain't like Roman Reigns probably wrestled 2 more times for this year. That's where we're going to get the Civil War payoff. And I'm thinking that The Rock is going to be in that Survivor Series match. He has to be, because the way the storyline is playing out, every time Paul Heyman says something, did the tribal chief authorize this? Solo never says that he's the one who authorized it. He just looks at Paul. I'm thinking all these orders are coming from The Rock. And Roman is going to have to get some backup, which is going to have to, they're going to pivot, and Roman needs to come in and get his ass kicked. There has to be a time where they beat the holy hell out of Roman, like they did to Sami Zayn. Just leave him laying to a point, because he got to be vulnerable. So he's never been vulnerable. Even when he lost at WrestleMania, he wasn't vulnerable. There has to be a time where he shows complete vulnerability. You had the crowd chanting, "We want Roman," because they hate Solo so much. He's going to recruit Jacob Fatu. As far as Jimmy Uso, I forget where I heard it. I think I heard it on Fightful, or I may have heard it on Post Wrestling, one of them. Or no, I heard this from Meltzer. Jimmy Uso is really hurt. Like, he has a legit injury. That's why they had to do what they did to him. I thought it was just to write him off. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew who Tonga Loa was until this picture starts circulating of when Vince McMahon had Tonga Loa. He had him on a bicycle running a Mexican gimmick as Camacho. I did not know that was Camacho.
Only Vince can do something like that.
I did not know that was Camacho. Like, that's crazy. Hey, Vince McMahon is an idiot, man. I swear, every time. But to your point though, MD, as far when they start ripping off GOD's accolades, I'm like, wow, I can't believe this that Triple H has them doing. I mean, that should have tipped the hat right there. But Vince would have never did that, because in his world, WWE exists in his own bubble. Like, shout out to Bones in the building. There's nobody else that exists in wrestling. So I do appreciate the fact that Triple H is like, hey, tell their accolades, because it makes them a bigger star. Why not?
Exactly. You're reducing their stature. Because if people know that you have this, you're going to be more legitimized. That would be like ignoring Harley Race, which they did. Ignoring Harley Race's world title reigns. You know, this guy's a big deal. He's not just King Harley Race. You know, he's an actual legend in the business.
Yeah. Vince McMahon is weird, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's why I'm glad.
Dusty Rhodes. Let's forget the fact that he was the world champion 3 times.
Put his big ass in them polka dots. Vince has done some weird shit, man. So the next matchup we had for the WWE Women's title, Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. Again, Naomi got the biggest ovation she'll ever get in her life. The way that crowd was fist pumping for her and cheering for her, I've never seen it before. And I dare say that I thought that this was a fine showing from Naomi. But you know who I'm going to say the standout was. The standout was Tiffany Stratton. Bayley is great as always. Bayley is a consummate professional, even though Tiffany Stratton going to take that belt from her soon. It's just what it is. But again, I thought this match. Oh yeah, damn. What do you guys star rating for the previous match? Damn.
Oh, I give it 4 stars.
Yeah,
great opener.
Yeah, I give it 4. That could have been the most frenetic opening match in WWE I've ever seen. Like, just there was no chill at all to that. No chill. But so we did have the women's title match. What you gave it, Venkat?
I'll go with a 4 too. It can just set the tone. I'll go to 4.
All right,
I can't say that that's a mid. You know, what was seen on that screen was not a mid thing. So I have to go to 4.
So next we have the women's title match. Again, I thought it was a really good match. I love them hitting Tiffany Stratton with a 3D to get her out of the match, and Bayley did roll up Naomi for the 1, 2, 3. What do you guys have on this match?
You don't want to hear me.
Yeah, you already. Yeah, I think it was another good match. I did not like the finish. I'll say that up front. I didn't like the finish.
Hold on now, MD. What do you mean you don't like the finish?
I didn't like the finish. I didn't like that it was a so simple of a counter roll to get the victory. I get it because it was face on face. Go ahead. What
you're trying to say? No, in wrestling we have to have NBA Jam. Like, everything got to be he's heating up. Like, everything has to be like extreme. Like, we got to jump up into the rafters and do some super duper flip. Or like, why is wrestling like this? Like,
I'm not saying all that.
I'm about to agree with Venkat. I'm telling you.
I'm not saying all that. But I mean, this is a world title match at the end of the day. I'm not saying that it has to be some type of spectacular pay. I'm not saying that, but I mean, they got rid of Tiffany Stratton, and then immediately following that was the roll and the counter roll. Like I wasn't a big fan of the finish.
That
She
sounds
caught
like
her
a
off
great
guard.
strategy to me.
You know what I mean? I'm not, but it was a great match. Like I said, it was the best women's match that night. So I'm not tripping on the body of the match. It was great. Tiffany Stratton is a star, man.
The bar. Oh, trust me, the bar wasn't.
Oh, about to have some sloppy joes.
we don't get to that one. And Venkat, where you had on this match? You like this match?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't hate the match. I'm not a fan of Tiffany Stratton. I'm not. I don't like the way she makes herself look in her face. It's kind of manly, but whatever. I can't. That just throws me the frig off. And I don't like her trying to be the great Muta, doing that flip and then just bouncing into people. I think it looks retarded at a certain point.
So you don't like that cartwheel into the Alabama Slam? I think that's a great
move. With purpose. The thing that she just flipping the hell back and look whatever happens. Like when the Muta did it, there was an elbow involved. Like do an offensive move to compliment it or something. Don't just bump into a nigga. Like, come on, man. Like you're just bumping into people with your big ass back. That's not gonna do it for me, brother.
Damn, what?
Damn. I mean, it's called hip attack,
Venkat.
No, I'm saying this woman might be actually really good, and maybe down the road I can see it. But I'm just saying, I have never seen her in a scenario in a match where I'm like, God damn, that was great. Like barely, I'll be like, God damn, that was great. I've seen, a lot of these women do things that were spectacular. I haven't seen.
Did you see Tiffany versus Becky Lynch in NXT?
No.
Okay, you gotta watch that then. You gotta watch that. They had a no holds barred match. You gotta watch that.
Yeah, she needs to fix her face, man. She got work done, and a lot of makeup.
Say what you want, Venkat. She a star, bro. She a star.
I'm telling you, man. That Tiffany Stratton is if you know what, MD, I think she's gonna win Money in the Bank.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
There's your Money in the Bank winner right there, Tiffany Stratton. I can't believe Venkat don't like the cartwheel into the Alabama Slam though. Like you got to figure the precision it takes for her to do that and get her opponent and man.
I'm talking about that cartwheel, and then she just bumps into people.
Yeah. He's talking about the great Muta, where he does the cartwheel and then the backflip.
Oh,
and then how great Muta used to hit the elbow.
Like what she's doing, like it's a silly thing she's doing there.
So what about the prettiest moonsault ever?
I have no problem with that.
I have
no problem with that. I don't have a problem.
That springboard, man. That woman, and she only been doing this for 2 years. She gonna get better. And Charlotte should be coming back soon. They're gonna feed her to Charlotte and have her working with Charlotte.
The greatest female wrestler of all time.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that at all. You won't get no disagreement with me. Charlotte's gonna make her game just that much more. Like that woman is man. If she could stay healthy though, Charlotte's been on the decline. So what? So I get that match a 4 though. What do you guys give that match?
I give it a 4 too. Like I said, it was a great match. I just didn't like the finish.
Bones talking about a very beautiful match. Venkat, go and give it his 3 because I know that's what you're gonna do.
I'll give it a 4 too. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, a lot of this is being swayed by the freaking audience. I mean, the crowd is amazing.
So there's a segment in the back where they're interviewing Jey Uso, and then the new bloodline just walk up on him. But what the scene that was the most telling was when they put the camera on Paul Heyman and he just looked at Jey like with that look like I'm being held prisoner, like help me type stuff. Like that's just the look that he gave him, and it's just foreshadowing a lot. So speaking of Jey Uso, in another fantastic moment that they even did at the what was it, Cleveland Cavaliers game, you had main event Jey Uso taking on Damian Priest for the world title. Again, hey man, they on a roll tonight. I thought this was, first of all, anything Jey Uso did was going to be better than his WrestleMania match. But I love the fact that he didn't spam the super kicks in this match. Damian Priest is a hell of a wrestler. I know some people don't like him for whatever reason. That guy has put in more than enough time and honed his craft, and he is awesome. He got a really good match, and they basically turning him face right in front of our eyes. JD McDonough and Finn Balor come out, and he's telling them, "Hey, I don't want your help. Get out of here." He even scolds him at the end of the match. But I mean, I don't think this was ever in doubt. Damian Priest does retain. What do you guys have on this one?
Go ahead, Venkat.
Well, I like it. I like Damian Priest. I think he's getting his opportunity. Remember, he didn't make WrestleMania last year, but he had the main event last year at Backlash. He won the Money in the Bank, and he cashed it in, and now he's the champion. He had a successful defense. His match delivered, and he did it with a guy that did not deliver in his match at WrestleMania. So that means Damian Priest is a needle mover. Damian Priest is making everybody a believer because I just love that story. I love the fact that here's a Puerto Rican guy that would have never gotten a shot otherwise, especially in the Vince McMahon days. And here he is living out his best life right now. And he's doing good work. He's doing good work. You just gotta clap your hands for that guy, and good job, man. So
you gotta watch his NXT stuff, man, against, what was it, Dijak or Keith Lee? I think it was Dijak. Man, those were some of the best matches. Hey, this guy is awesome, man. MD, what do you have on this one?
MD?
He muted. I don't even think
I think you have it on mute, MD.
Okay, yeah, my bad. I don't know what happened to my audio just now. Yeah. This was another good match. I will say this. I don't see the reason turning Damian Priest, and I don't see the reason behind him keeping the Judgment Day away from his match. Like, I think that diminishes like his aura as what he is as champion. I mean, heal it up. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the need to turn him face. Like who are you gonna put up in front of him, especially in the Judgment Day? I mean, yeah, you could probably do Finn and Damian. That'll be a good match. But I mean, it ain't like long withstanding. You know what I mean? So, me personally, I don't see the reason behind it. To me, it diminishes the type of champion that you want Damian Priest to be. But I like Damian Priest as champion. I'll just put it that way. This was a good match. We'll see what happens next with Jay. I don't know exactly where. Jey Uso ain't in the King of the Ring tournament, is it?
Yeah, he just beat Finn in advance.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm so caught up on the Gunther and Sheamus.
Oh my
that's
God.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, me personally, I want to see him stay healed. Like keep a good thing going. Judgment Day is a good thing. So to me, let it rock. JD and Finn definitely should be out there during this match.
You know, I think they're going to turn him face though, so Drew could have a face champion to beat. I just think that's why they're going to do it.
Oh wow, okay. So you saying Drew gonna get the title back from Damian Priest?
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, Drew has to get. Listen, Drew just signed a brand new contract, probably for some record-breaking money. Drew getting that belt back. Because I mean, him and CM Punk, they're heading to it. CM Punk looked in the camera and said, "I'll be at Clash at the Castle." I think CM Punk is closer to being cleared than they're leading on. I wouldn't be surprised if they have like a street fight or something at that thing. But Drew
CM
needs.
Punk gonna get booed out the building.
Oh yeah.
It's
They
in
gonna boo the
Glasgow,
hell.
Scotland. Yeah.
They're gonna boo the hell out of him. But I think Drew has to get his comeback. Drew don't seem like the guy. His character for this whole run has been righting wrongs, and he felt like he was wronged at WrestleMania. So why wouldn't he go? Oh shit! Who fell off? Oh, MD. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he go after the guy that cashed in on him? Because he could always be like, "Hey, we didn't have a real match. You're not good enough to beat me in a real match." And if it was if Priest was a heel, Priest would be like, "Yeah, you're right, but I'm the champion." Whereas if Priest is a babyface now, the valiant babyface is gonna be like, "Oh no, I need to prove that I can beat you." And then when he get his ass kicked, he just get his ass kicked. He can feud with Finn or whoever. He do whatever he wants to do. I don't want to see Judgment Day end. So that's not what I'm saying. But as much as I love Priest as champion, I need to see Drew as champion sooner than later. Because to me, Drew McIntyre right now is like top 3 with what they have right now. And I just think him as your heel champion is better, because WWE is still a territory where you just, you run things off of the heels and then you build a babyface to come and get them. And a Drew versus, remember when they turned Del Rio face and had him chase for his title, it made him a little more likable. So, and I think that's what they'll end up trying to do.
Hey, Trevor, I'll say this here, responding to what MD said about Damian Priest. I think that, MD is saying that Damian Priest essentially doesn't need to be, the good guy now. He doesn't need to not be a heel. But I think within the story, it kind of does make sense, because Damian Priest forever has been talking about the limited opportunities he's had and working hard to build himself up. So when you hear him yelling at Finn Balor and the human Funko Pop, when you hear him yelling at them to stay out the match, I think he realizes, as everybody should, that when you cash in, let's be real, you're getting a cheap victory. So as a champion, he really wants to have a solid run as a champion. He doesn't want to be looked at as what Trevor would say happened to Ron Simmons, where the moment was this energetic, exciting moment, but there was nothing after that. He wants to come out of this when his run ends, people will be like, "Hey, that was pretty good." And I think he has a lot of pride behind that belt. So him trying to say, "Hey, I'm going to do it on my own without help. I'm going to actually prove that I'm deserving of this belt." I think that's a story in itself worth telling. And I think it's in reality, I think he feels that way. So it'll actually sell better because there's some truth behind it. So I don't really see a problem with that. I can see it. I can see him refocusing his mind and his mindset because he has that belt. And I think his run is elevating this title to being something people want to attain. And it will get that nasty stigma of, Whopper Jr. consolation prize that everybody, by the way, has been calling it that. Like, no matter where you go, like all these wrestling guys call it a consolation prize. Everybody does. And that organically just happened. People just, so I think his reign and then whatever reign, whether it be whoever, I think that is elevating this title. My part.
I agree. I mean, I just eventually I just need to see it on Drew, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just my last thing on Damian Priest though, just come to the ring like this. Don't wear the singlet thing. I mean, because it looks stupid. It just I just don't like it. I mean, if Venkat could criticize LA Knight's boots and trunks, then I could criticize his thing. So next up, they have somebody from the French announce team come out and announce that this was the largest gate of any arena show in history. So because there was some questions, because I know Bones even asked, he sent me a message like, wait a minute, what? So this is the largest gate of any arena show, not WrestleManias, because I mean, hell, they had one WrestleMania that netted 12 million at the gate. So obviously this wasn't it. So somebody went and did the math. They had about 12,000 people in the building. And
that's it?
Yeah, they had about 12,000 in there.
Yeah, I was real confused by this.
I think it was like 11,008 or 900 somewhere.
I thought it was well over 20.
No, it sounded shit. It sounded like 50 in there, but it was a little under 12. So somebody went and did the math, and they said that based on the gate, which was over 3 million, and the amount of people, that the average price per ticket was $300. They are gassing them people overseas, man.
So that's what it was. They damn surged the price.
I went to SmackDown. A couple months ago, and for my 3 tickets was $300. They doing an average of $300 per ticket.
So that means some people paid in the thousands.
Exactly for the ringside. Can you imagine what ringside costs? Because ringside at SmackDown was like going for $800 and $900. So ringside here had to be about $5,000. One of my coworkers told me the UFC they just went to, I think it was like like 10 grand that a ringside seat was going for. Like this, yeah. I mean,
10 grand was WrestleMania ringside seat. 10 grand.
At what point though? Because again, you know, Venkat has always been consistent on this channel about just milking people. And when I hear something like this, I don't know what the economy in France is. It may be great. That shit won't fly over here. You can't do that. Like that is, you can't do that to people, man. $300 a ticket.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's got to be nosebleed. that's got to be right nosebleed. Right. You can go to a PLE here and pay like $40 for sitting in nosebleed.
Wow. That's crazy,
man. So I wouldn't. I get it because they want to let everybody know that they're making money hand over fist. I just wouldn't brag about this one.
Right.
I wouldn't brag about this one.
They're essentially doing the Wendy's model with surge pricing.
Yeah, because they're hot. You know why I did that too? Because they're hot. I just paid $40 for a Cody Rhodes t-shirt. Like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's damn. Why don't I have my shirt on? I just thought about it. I got a Superman shirt instead. But they are literally they're price gouging.
Yeah, that's what it is. Inflation, fake inflation. They're just increasing the price because they can.
Man, you know, TKO stock is up, which I do own some of. You know, but still, it's crazy. I this one I don't like. So like, you know, I'm the guy that's always like, hey man, business is business. But this is so okay. Let me dial that back a little bit. They could charge whatever people are going to pay. Let me say that, but don't brag about it like a badge of honor. Don't be like, oh shit, this. You could be like, hey, this is the highest international crowd in the arena, or just make something up like that. Don't be like, hey, this is our highest earning. That's weird though. I don't think I've ever heard them say something like that this was their highest earning gate ever. And because when you think about it, you're just like, man, that's kind of gross. Like, that's just kind of gross.
Well, you don't notice how like every PLE, they're trying to announce some highest ever in the history of WWE, or you know, it's always some kind of they're looking and combing through trying to find where they land in because it's
that's attendance though. They've been doing that.
Yeah, but
They never
it's
said
like
anything about a
overly
gate.
more. In the past, it was just WrestleMania or
Yeah, they're doing
SummerSlam.
it for everything now. They're doing it for Monday Night
That's what
Raw.
I'm saying, yeah, it's excessive. I mean, but that's what they do.
And usually talking about a gate is like an industry thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you don't usually hear promoters. You'll hear promoters talk about a gate in like a shoot interview. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Never like to the audience. So that's weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think because when I heard about the gates for WrestleMania and stuff, I always hear that from Dave Meltzer. I never hear that from them. Triple H will always be like, well, yeah, we broke this merchandise record. He'll say something like that, like we broke merchandising records and stuff like that. That's fine because people go there and spend money. But damn, when you're talking about like their gate and then somebody going to go do the average ticket price and they're going to be like, holy shit. For a nosebleed ticket, running you that. And Rubin said he paid what, $240 for his WrestleMania ticket. That's crazy. Well, I mean, hey, but again, though, because in comparison to UFC and basketball, the NBA playoffs are going on now. And, those tickets are probably insane. Football season is coming up, so Dolphins tickets are going to be ridiculous. So,
Nothing
hey,
higher
what
than
do I
damn
know?
NFL ticket. NFL ticket's ridiculous.
Yeah, NFL, man, that's why I make my house to a point where like, hey, I don't have to go nowhere unless like it's just one of those, hey, you gotta be at this game type thing. But yeah, but speaking of gross, because we gotta get here. Let's get into the most heartbreaking match of the year to me. Already on my list of worst match of the year. Now, a week has passed almost. A week has passed, so some things have come out. Asuka was wrestling injured. They think she may have gotten injured in this match, which is why they pulled her from King of the Ring. So that could have done something to this. But I'm gonna let y'all go.
She wasn't the issue though. She was the issue.
Well, yeah, but I'm gonna let y'all go before I say what I gotta say.
No, we gotta have from you.
No, Venkat,
I'll go for it because Venkat gonna go on a diatribe. I already know what he gonna do.
Yeah, I'm about to. I'm gonna eat this one up.
So I'll say this. Yeah, it was the worst match of the night, obviously, right? I'm already not liking the way that they portraying the dichotomy between Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. There were several moments in this match where Bianca Belair was getting double teamed outside of the ring, inside of the ring. Jade Cargill just standing right there on the apron as if nothing going on. They trying so hard to give a greater position to Jade where it's diminishing, in my opinion, Bianca. Asuka kicked the hell out of Bianca Belair. They was outside. Kyrie went up to the top rope, did the crossbody down to the mat, and you could see in the angle shot Jade Cargill standing on the apron, just standing there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? they tried so hard, and maybe this is the downfall of trying to push a person to stardom, maybe. But they trying to put a light on Jade Cargill to the point where it don't look organic. And I think that's going to be a problem. So in my opinion, they better hurry up with this tag team title run and hurry up and get to what we all want to see before it diminishes to the point where we're not going to care. Now the Jaded spot, that was incredible. I ain't going to front. Where she had him in the electric chair and flipped over and tossed in the air. That was incredible. It is what it is. But I'm telling you now, this was the starting point of me not caring. I'm just being for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Black Girl Magic and all of that is great. But you're trying, it shows me that you're trying too hard. And that's going to be a problem. So just hurry up and somebody turn on somebody. Quick.
So
shout out to Chris Morales in the building.
what we're hearing from my esteemed colleague is that when I said Jade Cargill ain't gonna be much, at least compared to Edge, I think AEW got the better deal. And Edge is at the tail end of his career. Jade Cargill ain't gonna be able to provide a good match. And if you're gonna be limping around in the ring, looking like you're confused on your opponent supposed to hit you or not, and you're just like,
Yeah. What was that? What was that? Oscar had Jay in a waist lock, and they were just standing there for like a long time. Like, what's going on?
lost in translation. They so much miscommunication. There's no fluidity with her movement in the ring, and I guess this is what Triple H saw, and that's why she was over there. She shouldn't even be in WWE on the main roster right now. I thought she was well ready. I was ready to see her and Bianca go day one, boom. But I see why they're doing this, and I can see why she has to be in a tag team because we need to cover up a lot of mess. But the problem is the person that she's tagging with also has her issues. She can get exposed too. Bianca Belair is counting steps as well. So it's just a match made in hell, really. And I don't know what they're gonna do because whenever that match happens, you know it's gonna be a dud. I don't see anything good coming out of this. And if someone like MD is losing interest already, she only had what, 3 major matches already.
This is third one.
Yeah, we're 3 matches deep, and we're already at that point. Again, the AEW won that damn trade-off. I'd rather have Edge and his wisdom and his abilities to do whatever he can do at his age is way stronger and way more valuable than what Jay Carter is going to do.
Let me say this real quick. I disagree with one point that you're saying. I'm not putting any of this on Jay. I'm not putting any of this on Jay. I'm saying that they're force feeding aura about her that I think that she could get organically. Based on how the body of that match was, there was no like this is a tag team match. She's clearly being double teamed. Clearly. Why are you just standing in the corner of the ring? Like what are you doing? Because they wanted the hot tag moment. But that's force feeding. So I'm not putting anything on Jade. Jade is what she is. She can do what she does in a Hulk Hogan type way. So I'm not tripping on her style or her presence in the ring. I'm not tripping on any of that. I'm tripping on the way that they're trying to portray her from a presentation standpoint. That's all I'm saying.
We shall see. I said after 2 years, we'll look back and see how that goes. So far, not good.
All right. Well, we haven't had to use this in a while, but here we go. All right, so here's what I took away from this match. First of all, let me say this. This is why Wrestling with Reality is the best wrestling podcast out right now. You guys will get to learn it. I just listened to Busted Open Radio 2 days ago, sitting in my car, getting ready to go to work. And I had to listen to Mark Henry tell me that this match had the best spots of the entire show in it. And Bully Ray agreeing with him because Mark Henry is responsible for bringing both of these 2 women into wrestling. So y'all know how I feel. Bianca Belair is the most beautiful woman in wrestling. Fine. And I disagree 100% with Venkat where he puts her on the pecking order. I think she's a little under Charlotte as far as women wrestling, period. What happened in this match was horrendous. I gauge wrestling by how my wife and my daughter react. They are all on this Black Girl Magic thing, just happy. This is the only match my wife wanted to see. She wasn't feeling good, but she came out to watch this one, and she's sitting there, and my wife sitting next to me looked at me and said, why is Jade just standing there? Why isn't she doing anything to help? What happened in this match was the exposure of Jade Cargill. AEW fed her 2 to 5 minute squash matches, so you never got to see how little experience she had in the ring. I'm aware that they brought her in with Shaquille O'Neal, and that was her first time doing this. I'm aware of that. When you look at her, she is a friggin' star, like star power galore. But in the WWE, you are going to have to learn how to have a wrestling match. What I saw in that ring Saturday, she was gassed to the gills. She was so gassed at one point that she just dropped 100-pound Kairi Sane and took a knee. She was out of place for all the spots, with the exception of they did a nice double team spot towards the end, so I will give them credit there. Now I do disagree with MD when he's saying that they're taking all the spotlight out of Bianca. I think that's by design, because I've said, Bones will tell you, because me and Bones talk about all the shows after they go off, like Tape is Politics and everything. And I told Bones, I said, Bianca is the one that's going to turn heel. It's not going to be Jade. And the reason Bianca's going to turn heel is Bianca, two-time, WrestleMania main eventer, multiple-time champion, King of the Royal Rumble winner. And now y'all got this woman that looks damn near like me coming in, and y'all giving her all the spotlight. The black girl jealousy, NXT Bianca doing this shit is coming back soon, and I'm here for it. They have her in this tag team to hide the deficiencies, and there are a lot of deficiencies. I mean, just the simplest stuff. She can't land that pump kick for shit. I mean, my goodness, the kick is everything about you. You gotta learn how to land that kick. This is my third time seeing the kick, and it does not land at all. The match was sloppy. The refereeing was terrible. Kairi Sane was the illegal person in the ring. The ref is telling her, you got to get out of the ring. You can't do the cover. Jade missed her spot for 1 minute. They let the illegal person in the ring roll around, and then they just was like, oh shit, to hell with it. Stay in the ring. Bro, this match was terrible. I'm not giving this match no pass. This is in the leaderboard right now, the worst match of the year. I don't want to hear, I listen to all these different podcasts. No, it's so crazy that all the people that I listen to, and there's only a few of them, but all the people I listen to as far as wrestling, reviewing and stuff like that, everybody gave this match a pass. And I'm like, if anybody should have came on these YouTube airways and been like, oh man, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It should have been me. I shouldn't be the one on here coming on here telling the absolute truth that this match was horrendous. Now, it could have been because of the Oscar thing. It could have been. Oscar getting hurt. Oscar is a ring general. But when you see Venkat brought it up, like you're literally just standing there because she don't know what to do next. If something goes wrong, she does not know how to pivot and do something different. She does not know how to
don't know how to improvise.
And that's the problem. I still think she's going to be a star just because, but off of what she's doing. That's why I said from the beginning, she should have took on Nia Jax as her first match, because they would have just went in there and had a big beefy son of a bitch match that'd have beat the holy hell out of each other. And then she could have did a few power spots on Nia and looked great. And the match would have lasted all of 5 minutes. Hopefully they made it out alive in that match, but this match was terrible, man. I give, what's the lowest rating we give here?
Jobber, right?
0.
Well, I wouldn't give it an absolute 0, but this match was a 1-star match for me. Like I've heard people.
You don't want to bury this match?
Huh?
Oh damn!
You're not gonna bury this match?
No, I give it a 1-star just because their presentation is so fantastic. Their look raises it up just a little bit. But This match was terrible, man. Y'all, everybody stop the cap, man. Just stop it. This match was terrible. And man, God, this hurt me. So look what this is doing to me. Look.
Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy, yummy.
This is killing me to have to say this about a Bianca Belair match. Like, I've never criticized anything she's done, but she got to take some of the blame because she was off on some timing. And Venkat, again, I hate to agree with Venkat. The Dominic Mysterio counting, you can see it. Like, especially and this is where it's so exposed. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say, especially when she throws somebody in the into the ring ropes or the turnbuckle, and you can see her actively tapping her foot as a way to count down to what the next spot is gonna be. They gotta stop doing that. They gotta stop doing the standing there. Oh my God, this is the greatest moment in the world. I'm gonna cry. They gotta stop doing that.
Yep.
The sooner we get heel Bianca, the better. And it's going to be better for everybody. It is. It just is.
Hey, I got a theory. That spot when Kyrie pinned Jade and the ref was saying, no, this is not the legal person. I believe Jade called that spot too early, because if you look, the next sequence is because she tried to put in the arm bar and then Jade wrestled out. The next sequence is when Kyrie did it again and did the armbar spot, and then that's when Asuka came in and did the armbar spot, and that's when they did the double power bomb. She called the spot too early. So Kyrie was like, "What you want me to do?" So she just, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think happened.
But Kyrie should know better, though.
But it's not her fault. Like, if Jade was calling that spot, what you want Kyrie to do? She just going off of what's being called.
The heels are supposed to call the match. Ric Flair teach you that. The heels call the match.
Well, that's all well and good, but immediately after that is when they did it again. They redid the whole thing, and that's when they did the double power bomb. So I think Jade, she effed up.
And Chris, I agree with you, man. Hey, listen, you ain't gonna get no criticism from me with looking at these two women on the screen. You are not. But I have a job to have some integrity on this show, and I'd be a hypocrite if I come on here and not call this exactly what it was. And this is the Sloppy Joe match. This is now in my newly created folder as the worst wrestling match of the year.
Wow.
I just gotta say this though. I don't get any joy in seeing Jade Cargill fail. I want to see her do good because I want that match to be great. I want to see a spectacle. I want to see something worth seeing. So it doesn't help me that she's struggling like that. I'm just, Triple H and Shawn Michaels and all these people that are around there. I don't know if they're able to do, because the thing that gives me pause is that she's one of those people that didn't grow up watching wrestling, wasn't motivated to be a wrestler. It was an opportunity to just fall in her lap. So, there's a major disconnect with ring psychology and what you should do in those ropes. And that's the part that's that's making me fearful. Her mindset isn't, I want to do the best 5-star match ever and represent a title. And I don't think her thinking isn't that. Her thinking is, this is a means to an end to get me to the popularity I need to be so I can get the money I need to get.
What year was that?
I can get that role. I can get that role as Storm. Like, that's
yeah. I mean,
what year was it? What year was it when she was in Tough Enough? What year was that?
Wait a minute, Jade was in Tough Enough?
I believe so.
No, I don't know about that.
I didn't know.
Hold on. Let me fact check that. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, I may be tripping. Hold on.
She would have stood out to me.
Yeah.
Especially back then, she was a little softer. Oh my goodness. But so And I'm with Venkat. I don't want to see hell. This is hurting me for real because I'm the one who's saying she's gonna be the biggest signing since forever. Like, I need her to be great because of the crossover appeal. Because whenever she's on my TV, my wife just suddenly jumps up and comes out to come watch her. Like, I love that. When I'm hopefully there at the next live show that we go to. Like, I love that. It's black girl magic, black girl representation, but I got to call it what it is. I mean, that's just what I got to call it what it is.
And you know, I sent that in the chat. I sent that video, that YouTuber that's not a wrestling fan that watched WrestleMania 40 and instantly became a wrestling fan just from WrestleMania 40. And one of the main things she called out was Jade Cargill, specifically. Specifically, that was what caught her eye, was Jade. So that is not a one-off with just that girl. You know, there's other people she's gonna affect like that. But if she's not able to stick the landing, you know, all that greatness can just go away. So
but Venkat, I think she's gonna get better because again, this is not somebody who's been doing this for a long time. What they need to do is, because she lives in Florida, what they need to do is put a ring at her house and have Natalia at her house every weekend. That's what they need to do. Because if Natalia,
I agree with that.
You need to watch matches.
Yeah, if Natalia can't get you right, then nobody can get you right.
You got to watch footage. You got to watch videotapes. I'm talking about throughout the years. It can't just be one era. She needs to find the history of wrestling and learn about different characters and what they did to be successful. That would be most ideal.
So, man, yeah. So let's get into the main event. We did a live watch along for this, so you heard me and Venkat react in real time, and then I went back and watched it because I wanted to watch it with the sound on. You can't do that during the watch alongs. The main event, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. I'm curious to hear what MD has to say about this match, just because we did the watch along with Venkat, so I know how he felt about it. I'm curious to hear what MD thought about this. Here's a match. Cody's first opponent after the 2-year story. They put him in the ring with AJ Styles. I mean, if that's not a banging, if that don't get you a banger, then I don't know what is. AJ Styles at 46 looks better than half the people in the damn world. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but my goodness. So MD, what were your thoughts on this match?
For what it was a great match. Another match, the atmosphere was electric. That's just what it is. Also, once again, shout out to Triple H. That intro before the match, showing the TNA clips and both of them winning the NWA title. Great. That's how you tell a story. You wouldn't have got that from Vince at all. You know what I'm saying?
I wish they would have showed the AJ versus Dusty Rhodes match.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't, because and I agree with you 100%, Trail. At some point in time, I think we will see more of a partnership with TNA and WWE. It's inevitable at this point.
Yeah,
it's inevitable. You know what I mean? And going back to the crowd, this crowd. That's why I say this crowd was better than the Puerto Rico crowd. This crowd was smart. They start to chant "Too Sweet" and all type of stuff that a regular casual wouldn't know. With them being former members of Bullet Club and all of that, like, the crowd was awesome, man. I can't describe that enough, how great the crowd was. As far as the match, it was a great match to me. Cody jacked up on the Super Cody Cutter. He, I guess AJ was in too close. I don't know what happened, but they just failed. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, but it is what it is. For what it's worth, it was a good match. It wasn't something to write home about, but for what it was, it was good. I would give it a 4 just based on the atmosphere and it being something that we've never seen.
See, and I'm glad you said that. That's why
the burning hammer looked like That's a close call.
I'm glad that you said that because you said it. You said you give it a 4 based on the atmosphere. So hold on, go ahead, Venkat. What was your thoughts? What was your thoughts on this?
I think once again AJ Styles delivered, as AJ always does. Cody, Cody Rhodes is awesome, man. So he's gonna perform. He's always gonna be up to the task. And my thing with Cody is not like, oh, I want to see him fail, or it's none of that. I think he's just so good that I want his moment to be one of those moments like when Hogan won against Iron Sheik, and when Goldberg won against Hogan, and it's like a memorable moment. And that's why I'm like on it like that. But Cody is the man. I mean, he's gonna give you a great match. And the fact that they never wrestled each other before, that adds more to this match. And the match is great. Just a very good wrestling match. And I was thoroughly entertained watching it. I knew I wasn't going to have a Roman Reigns performance where I'm going to be pissed off at what I'm seeing. I know that these guys are going to bring their A game. And Cody and AJ at 50% is higher than most in the industry right now. So that's all I need to know, and that's all I need to get. And I was happy with what I got. This is a 4.
MD, if had you not seen Ospreay versus Danielson, would your opinion on this match change?
I mean, no, because I didn't look at this match as like a match of the year type match. I mean, it was a good match. I ain't saying it wasn't good, but no, I know. It was certain caveats to this match that I thought that were traditional in the aspect of what I want to see. And correct me if I'm wrong, AJ Styles didn't hit not one Styles clash.
No.
The whole match.
Correct.
That's great. You know what I mean? Whereas we know if this was an AEW match, how many false finishes we would have had. There was literally, I don't believe there was one false finish in this match at all.
It was about 2. It was about 2.
Okay,
all right. It was 2. So the reason I asked you that is because remember earlier when I said that there was a few matches in WWE that I wanted to. Are we going in a different direction? And this is one of them. And Ilya Dragunov versus Ricochet is the other. Listen, if y'all didn't watch that match, go watch that before you watch Dynamite. That match was so fantastic. And then Gunther versus Sheamus again. My God. I don't know what to say about those two, but is WWE going in a direction now where their whole standard matches, and I mean, because we've seen Roman Reigns as champion for 3 years, the heel just grinds the match down to a screeching halt and gets heat on the face for so long. Then the babyface makes a comeback. He gets his comeback cut off. He makes another comeback. Then he fails at the end. Obviously, we got a face champion, so we know he's going to succeed at the end. But the one thing I noticed about this match is that there was never a moment in this match where one person took the bulk of the offense. Like they were just going back. It was constant back and forth, back and forth. He hit Cody with a burning hammer. When was the last time you seen a burning hammer in WWE? I'll tell you when. At the CWC, when Brian Kendrick hit it on Kota Ibushi, or Kota Ibushi hit it on Brian Kendrick. The CWC was like at least 6 years ago. That was the last time you seen a burning hammer in WWE. He hit Cody with a friggin' burning hammer for a 1 count. Cody gets out of the burning hammer and starts to Hulk up, and that's when the crowd just went crazy and the camera just went to shaking, and it like the insanity. And what I loved about what they were doing is Triple H had those announcers lay out. Normally they'd be trying to announce everything and talk over everything. They laid out and was like, hey, we're going to let the crowd dictate this. Oh, but that wasn't it. AJ Styles then proceeds to hit a friggin' brain buster on the apron, the Cody. Like, when y'all, like, what the hell kind of WWE is this that now everybody can't do this. You're not going to send the women out there to do this. But you got these two guys. I bet Cody trusts AJ, which was weird though, because they would never let him hit the pile driver. They teased the pile driver twice, but they never hit it. So that was interesting. Cody calling back to last year against Brock Lesnar puts AJ Styles in the arm breaker, what was that? The Kimura lock.
Yeah.
He put him in the Kimura lock. That's calling back to the Brock Lesnar spot last year, where Lesnar broke his arm at last year's Backlash. They didn't say Brock Lesnar's name because I was totally expecting Brock Lesnar to come out and interfere in this match. And me and Venkat, when we were reviewing this match, so this is the botch Cody cutter. AJ was in a little too close. That's the springboard Cody cutter. It just didn't hit. Not the Cody cutter, Crossroads. The Cody cutter. Crossroads is his finish.
Yeah. He sprungboard off the top rope, the super Cody cutter. AJ was in too close.
Yeah, AJ was in too close, and he had to try to lean in to catch him. That was the one thing. But I like what Venkat said during the watch along. He said every match doesn't have to be 100 finishing maneuvers and all of that. That's why I asked you if you had not seen the Danielson versus Ospreay, because Ospreay is already my wrestler of the year. I've already called it. But Ospreay wrestles a different type of match. I have yet to see Ospreay have a match where he can go in and sell and tell a story. And I don't think he's capable of doing it. No indictment on him, but he doesn't have to. This match was more of a back and forth between two world-class athletes, and they were saying like, hey, you're going to have to give me your best shot to put me down. And I don't think that this is the end of this. I think they're going to run this back at the Saudi show, because Cody doesn't have an opponent set up after that. Like I think you can get one more out of AJ and Cody. I thought this match was great, man. We can't give halves, so I had to commit to the 5. I thought this match was fantastic. And this is putting my Cody Rhodes fandom to the side. Because AJ Styles to me is just as great, especially at 46. You can't be 46 hitting them damn springboards like that. You're not supposed to be able to do that. AJ Styles is still on a whole nother level. I hope he gets another a world title run. I don't know what his what he has left on his deal, but I thought for Cody's first opponent, after Mania, that this was a fantastic opponent. Had this been LA Knight, this match wouldn't have been this good. It wouldn't, because LA Knight is not that guy. He's just not. He's a catchphrase and he's getting better, but he's not that guy. I thought that this match was tremendous. I'm shocked that they went off the air without Brock Lesnar coming in and interfering. Like, that was shocking. That's why I thought Cody did the Kimura, that maybe that was signaling that, he's heading back to Lesnar. But nevertheless, I thought this was fantastic, man. I mean, it probably in the grand scheme of things won't be in my match of the year at the end, but I'm damn sure going to put it in the folder now, just because it was a different, and Cody needed this, man. Like, you realize his only feud since he's been back has been against Seth, Brock, Roman, and Dominic Mysterio. You realize that since in the 3 years he's been back. So he needed this. Like, he needed to go in there and show everybody that they could do this. They got to get rid of that god-awful belt. But besides that, I thought it was fantastic. They sent the crowd home happy. And it's just, to me, just what's next. And again, if you haven't watched Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov for Monday Night Raw, listen, do yourself a favor. That was tremendous. And follow that up with Gunther Sheamus. And you know what? And let me say this, Io Sky versus Natalya was great. That's what I'm saying. If they stick Natalya and Jade Cargill on the house shows, Jade will be good in no time. And that's all I got to say about that.
There it is.
God, that belt is terrible. My goodness. All right. So, fellas, what's your final words on the Backlash?
Go ahead, D.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a great show. You know what I mean? We'll see what transpires as far as like what they'll do with Cody next and how the Judgment Day stuff will play along. I'm interested to see what they do with the King and Queen of the Ring, and how that's going to elevate somebody else because in my opinion, Gunther doesn't need the King of the Ring like at all. You know what I mean?
Who do you got winning King of the Ring?
Oh man,
because I got Gunther winning it. So like, I'm curious, who you got winning King of the Ring?
I can't make a call right now. So say what, Venkat?
It wouldn't make sense for Gunther to win that.
Yeah, I don't see a point. That's just me personally. The king of the ring, in my opinion, is there to set up the next mid card star. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see a point of having Gunther win King of the Ring and basically reset him back into the status that he just came from. You know what I mean?
Austin wasn't a mid card star.
Well, when he won it, he was.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he set up a mid card. He was catapulted after that.
Yeah, I mean, well, that would be an exception though.
Okay,
that would be an exception.
And we haven't seen the SmackDown brackets yet either, so we don't know the SmackDown side.
They should put I
I
don't know why they did that, but yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I ain't necessarily gonna pick somebody now. I'll see, especially when they start get to like the semifinals and everything. I'll see where everybody's at, and then I can make a determination from there because then I'll know, okay, this is the person that they want to set up, you know. But it is what it is. We'll see how it all plays out. And yeah, we'll go from there. Like I said, man, I'm just so disappointed in what's going on with the whole Jade, and you know, it's terrible. And to see how the women stack up on SmackDown right now, they got a phenomenal roster, like the women on SmackDown. And to see this going on, like even with Bayley to a certain extent, I don't necessarily see Bayley being catapulted in her role as champion. I'm just going to be honest.
Bayley might just be a gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And you know, we got Tiffany Stratton just lingering around, but I think it's too early for her though. So, but hey, we'll see, man. We'll see how everything goes.
So what do you give this? What do you give this show?
Overall, I give it a 4, because I mean all the matches were a 4 except for the match. So yeah, I give it a 4.
All right, Venkat, what was your overall thoughts on the show, and what was your grade?
Well, I think that the show was good. It was entertaining. A lot of that is because of the condensed matches, and then the reasonable runtime. So that gives me tremendous amount of points. This ain't World's End, folks. You get 52 matches, and you're up past 2 in the morning. So that alone, to have the early afternoon, that was great. And then the majority of the matches were all knocked out in the park. Even the one bad match had that moment, a couple moments, and you know. So
yeah, you can't deny that Jaded spot. That Jaded spot was awesome.
Yeah,
you can't deny it.
I like
it.
That
Was.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. I gotta agree with MD. I'm going with the 4. Was it better than last year? Yeah, I just love last year. I think last year was better. I think last year was stronger. You know, that San Juan street fight at the end, that match was hard hitting, and it was a great match. You know, they just had things going on in that Puerto Rico event that was, I think the match lineup was better as far as what we got. But this was good too. I think the as great as the Puerto Rican audience was, this audience is better, which is amazing to think that it could get better than Puerto Rico. But I think the matches came out better in Puerto Rico. But again, I mean, you're talking about 1 versus 2. I mean, they're still up there. But Backlash is the event.
Yeah, shit.
WrestleMania takes a back seat to Backlash. Every year I'm gonna be an old man. Oh, Backlash coming up. I'm watching it. Backlash is the event, man. That's all you gotta know. That Triple H keep doing this, it'll be great. And he talked about this a couple years ago about how they're looking to do more international events and that keep them coming. Not only does the runtime great, but I love those afternoon shows. I think everybody says that in general. Even other wrestlers, they appreciate the earlier start time. So it's good.
So what do you want? What you doing, little girl? I'm almost done. All right. So oh, wait a minute. You gave it a wait, whoa. You gave it a oh, okay. I was about to say.
That was an accident.
This card to me was absolutely heading to big gold status because I just loved it, man. 5 matches. The crowd this was a great show that was made excellent because of the crowd and then brought down because of the women's title match, which just brought it back down to a great show. Because the crowd couldn't save that match. So my overall grade for this is a 4. And I hate that, man, because I just was like, man, this card is absolutely going to be a 5. And then that women's match just completely just drove everything off the ledge. But that's how it be sometimes. My question to you guys, and in 2 weeks we are doing the Sting show part 2, and then we're gonna do a show after that called the Evolution of the Black Wrestler. So that should be great. Just going over all the black wrestlers because we have so many black champions right now. I didn't realize that. My question to you guys: Roman Reigns, 3 years, 30 title defenses, something to that effect. Do you guys want to see Cody defending at every show or even on some SmackDowns, or are you guys want him to be spaced out, not Roman status, but more like every other month or something like that?
Yeah, I think that the title should not be defended too frequently because now it loses its luster. I don't think we need the extremes of Roman's defenses, where it was far few and in between. But I think, every 2-3 months or so, Cody and that will make Cody being the champion sustain for a longer time. If you see people all the time, I think it'll just wear it down. They don't want the Road Warriors always to show up. They used to have the Road Warriors as a special attraction, so you would only see them every so often. I think the same thing for the world champion. You're a world champion. You don't need to be hustling and bustling like you're the TV champion. So, yeah, every few months, you should have Cody do a defense. He could stay in the consciousness of the people by doing his appearances on Raw or SmackDown when he talks to the crowd or whatever and does a promo.
MD, what you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you gotta savor moments in order to build up storylines for Cody to have. I don't really see a point of Cody playing this fighting champion role. We just had that with Seth. We really don't need it in terms of trying to solidify what you want the champion to be. You know what I mean? We just had that role. So yeah, honestly, I don't really see a need for him to have a match in Riyadh, so to speak. Hell, for all we know, they may just give the King of the Ring a championship match. We don't know.
I think like it would kill him to tell you. I think that's the stipulation. The winners get a title match.
Oh well, that killed everything I said earlier. Then, so and if that's the case, then yeah, but Gunther is on Raw though, so there's that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
We gotta get Cody Gunther, man. Like that.
It's like when you win Royal Rumble, it doesn't matter. You just get the title shot.
Yeah,
But
good luck with that. But you got to tie Imperium to that though.
Yeah. Well, because Giovanni Vinci is on SmackDown now. Bones told me. I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah, because I remember they said when they drafted Imperium, they only said Gunther, and they said yeah. So I remember that. Yeah.
Which is weird that I guess Kaiser's not with Tiffany Stratton anymore, because I know that was his old lady, and I know they don't normally like to break up couples. But what I don't want, because I agree with y'all, I don't think Cody needs to defend the belt all the time, because I don't want Cody. Cody has been great playing this underdog role. Now Cody needs to evolve his character, because his slogan was from what? Undesirable to undeniable. Well, now you're undeniable now. So you need to start acting like the champion. Like I even said on 5 Count last week, I'm kind of getting tired of him letting people slap him. He needs to be like, hey man, what's up? Like, he needs to buck up at him. I don't want him to be the champion that feels like he always has to defend the title. No, I'm the champion. You need to earn a shot to me. So I agree with y'all. I don't need to see him defending the belt. Definitely not Roman status, but I don't need to see him defending the belt every week, because it would get tiresome, because you don't have the U.S. title being defended every week.
Exactly. But why in the hell is Cody? Why was he wrestling an NXT nigga? Like why are we doing that? And then he gave him a run for the money. Carmelo Hayes.
That was great though, man. That was.
Yeah, but the optics ain't good there. He damn near could have beat him.
Well, look at the SmackDown roster right now. It's not a lot of heels, not top level heels on SmackDown. Name them.
Yeah, but you come out of the NXT and boom, you're getting a shot. There's like guys that's been on those the SmackDown roster and Raw rosters for years. They ain't got no shot. But let's get the guy from NXT. That makes no sense.
That's why I said the draft is stupid. The way they do the draft is stupid.
Yeah.
They should.
But yeah,
it's
draft,
free agency.
They need to draft people out of NXT. They need to stop calling this damn thing the Queen and King of the Ring. That's the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. If anything, it should be Crown Jewel featuring the King and Queen of the Ring. Don't call the event Queen and King of the Ring. That's silly. You already have a show called Crown Jewel, and it could.
I don't think that's the name of the show.
Huh? It is.
The name of the show is Crown Jewel.
Huh?
The name of the show is Crown Jewel.
The logo keeps saying Queen.
Yeah. The logo I saw, it said King and Queen of the Ring. That's what I saw.
That's the name of the show.
I think last year it was Crown Jewel.
Yeah. They should call the show Crown Jewel featuring King. It's kind of like Wrestle War featuring War Games. It would be that's what you should call it. They didn't think this through, man. They didn't think it through.
Trying to see. Yeah, I'm trying to look for it real quick. But all right, well, nevertheless, though, great show, fellas. I know we almost had it. We almost was that 2-hour mark, but no, well, yeah, because it started late. But anyway, shout out to everybody watching in the chat. Shout out to those who are watching over at Twitter. I think it's seen to get up to like 15 eyeballs at one point. So shout out to y'all. Because I know Twitter just allows anything. So I can say whatever I want over there. But so again, the Sting show is in 2 weeks, part 2 of Sting, which will actually be our 50th show. I can't believe that. 50th show on this channel. So tune into that. It's gonna be a lot. And then we'll do the evolution of the Black Wrestler after that. I might do a live 5 count after SmackDown this week. I don't know. Just depends. It's hard to do them after Raw because Raw is over so late. But, that's all I got, fellas.
So you done said the hell with Dynamite, ain't
Yeah, so that's where Bones comes in. Bones is going to do, Bones and Chris, I'm going to have them do the NXT and Dynamite. So I can't watch. I can't watch that. I can't. Not that I don't like it. I can't watch it. I don't have the time.
Yeah,
Like you
Kenny
see my
Omega's
daughter.
supposed to have some type of announcement tonight. I don't know. Probably saying when he gonna come back. Probably.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you see, my daughter already came in here, so I can't. It's too much. She want to go play PlayStation. So to the person that said that men playing PlayStation is just weird to them, screw you again.
What the hell?
Yeah, what was that? What was it? Funky Dineva or some crap like that? Some
What we
man,
supposed to be doing? Playing pinochle? Like what we supposed to be doing?
some man that want to be a woman trying to tell men, that they weird for playing PlayStation. Get the hell out of here. I was playing Madden last night during Tapers Politics, putting the ass whooping on the Jets.
Well,
so it is what it is. But fellas, great show, man. Hey man, y'all make sure and go check out Tapers Politics from last night. It was a semi rumble in the jungle.
For no reason, by the way. For no reason. There was no reason that show should have had that much vitriol. Much
hey,
that was the walkthrough show.
I thought when MD pulled out the autopsy that was going to be the end all be all, but nope.
No, hey, can't stop them.
I mean, I was like, man, that should have ended it all. But hey, it is what it is, man.
We got people laughing about dogs. I mean, my God. This is the funny thing. Last week, we're outraged by some woman shooting dogs and goats. This week, we're laughing at dogs.
I think it's a man dynamic, Venkat. I'm telling you, when you put men in a bad light on this channel, the reception is not good. Because I'm telling you, next week's show is going to be so tame. We're going to be like, yep, I can see it. I get it. They act like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this channel? I'm telling you, it's this channel. Like the culture on this channel is just like, hey.
See, when you a law and order guy, it don't matter what gender it is. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
yeah, because MD don't care about. Man, I'm not even gonna go there. Man.
It was good discussions though. I mean,
that was the worst take I ever heard. MD's take trying to just try. Oh, we should somehow care about the guy that's doing SA, and got a 14-year-old pregnant. We should somehow observe his rights as a human being. Man, please.
You see that, Venkat? You see that? Let me go on. Yeah, hell is what we're gonna be in.
I mean, my goodness, he got a 14-year-old pregnant, and they want to teach him a lesson, but now MD like, nope, too much time.
I thought you were about to end the show.
50 years. If you give him 100 years, then it's like okay, because he ain't getting out of there. But 50 years is we got to somehow be civil about it and be humane. Nah.
Hey, good night, everybody.
All right. Hey, what you doing tomorrow, MD? The Thought Box?
Yeah, I'll be doing Thought Box Live tomorrow, talking about the national debt.
8:30 p.m.
Yeah, 8:30 p.m. on the MD20 channel, Thought Box Live. We're talking about some money issues, so y'all make sure and tune into that and check out God and Government. MD got two. So he got a Manosphere Christian, and then he got just the radical Christian, and he got to try to sort it all out. So y'all tune into that. That's always a fun show. That's every other Monday night. So you don't do that weekly.
In the last show, the God and God and Government show that he had the last time, there was a segment, a video that MD played. I thought it was real interesting. How you look at how people view rich people versus poor people, and how things are looked at, as far as one way could be looked at as positive, and then the other way could be looked at as a negative. I thought it was pretty cool, interesting conversation there to have on that.
Not with two Christians, it ain't.
MD, you need to ask them a question and tell them they can't use the Bible. That's what you need to do, and see
Well,
what
I
and
mean,
see where it comes.
that's part of the show. I mean, I got God in the title. My position is not to take away their position. It's just trying to make them see the other side. Sometimes it's hard to do. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, that
It's
ain't gonna
definitely
work.
hard.
That I'm telling you, boy, because I swear Jeremy be having them scriptures on speed dial.
Yeah, he got them.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work in Apex. Man, it's crazy though. Like I'm not even gonna do it because I got a debate coming up, not this week but next week. So I ain't gonna run them
You
completely.
got a debate? Oh, you talking about a
No.
biblical debate? Oh, I'm about to say,
Yeah,
what the hell?
No, I ain't. No,
Yeah, you got a biblical debate.
Yeah, me and you gonna be the first. You gonna probably be the first and last. So you just got to see. We got to come up with a title and when we're gonna do it because I'm so busy at work right now. This shit is hard to prepare for, especially without a title. We got to come up with a title, but we'll work it out. So again, for like the fourth time.
Hi, peace, y'all.
All right, peace. All right, there you have it, Straight Talk Society. Another fantastic episode of Wrestling with Reality. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitter. Facebook said that the channel was back connected, but I keep trying to connect it and it's not letting me do it. So I got no idea what's going on with Facebook. So it is what it is, man. Shout out to those of you watching, Chris, Bones. Peace, everybody. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button on the video. Until next time. In 2 weeks, Sting Part 2, which will be our 50th episode. Man, we done 50 of these. Oh, wow. Can't believe it, man. But thanks to everybody that came through. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope we got some new listeners, especially those over on Twitter. With all that being said, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of it. Until next time, look out for 5 Count this Friday. Peace.
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit. You'll be knee deep